basically change it. So what was the compromise on the SOE restructuring?
Again, if I just brief it, IMF did not impose anything or force anything. The IMF's concern, especially when we work within a kind of constraint framework, the treasury should not bear the cost of unnecessary cost of SOE, because when SOE comes out with a particular product, especially energy or any other thing, it should be cost reflective, and there shouldn't be unnecessary burden to the treasury, because we had the bad experience of corruption and unnecessary borrowing, wrong dealing, especially Sri Lankan Airlines, the leasing agreement, even the cancellation, it had lots of costs. So therefore, it is with that IMF insisted. IMF wanted to have a very disciplined approach towards restructuring. Restructuring does not mean that's anything. So we are working on it. We have this appointed committee. They are looking after all these SOEs to take the final decision how best we can manage these things without passing or having a burden on the treasury, and meantime to increase the efficiency. And so these are the approaches. And again, how best we could utilize all those institutions in order to make sure that there would not be market failures, there would not be any oligarchies in the market, and to ensure that we would be able to provide goods and services to the market at an affordable rate, continuously in good quality. So this is the line of dealing with SOEs, and then that restructuring process is going on.
Since you spoke about Sri Lankan Airlines, now there is a view from Sri Lankan Airlines Airbus deal where we can basically ask for compensation. There were reports in 2021 that Sri Lankan has basically demanded compensation from the Airbus. What has happened to it?
That litigation is going on. Then once a particular conclusion of the reach or still that is going on, when there is anything tangible that we can announce, in due course we will announce. So if there is anything, I hope there is also have something to say about it.
The process is ongoing as we speak. A lot of discussions are happening. Experts are involved from both sides, and the new government, the new board that has been appointed, they are making all efforts to get the best outcome for the country. We have under a lot of information relating to the matter. So discussions, intense level discussions are going on, but it's subject to a process that it is not within our hands, as some of these matters are within international jurisdictions that have been challenged. So we believe that we will be able to get a good outcome.
Is the compensation only on the primary or also to cancellation? Because for cancellation also we pay money. Now, if the cancellation is based on the original agreement, it was based on bribes, so that's also you can challenge. So if you can clarify that.
So it's a complex matter. Several legal experts are involved in this case, so we don't want to predict to prejudice the existing process that is taking place. I'm sure we will wait for the outcome through the due process.
And for the next stance, Minister, what are the key benchmark we have to accomplish before the next IMF?
Actually, that depends on the next the review, that the fourth review. So immediately after this, the release of the fourth tranche, the fourth review will start probably in April. So during that, so the things are open for discussion. But by continuing the existing benchmark, all the certain benchmarks are there. Some alterations can be done from time to time depending on the requirement. For instance, the building, external buffer, the reserve. So it is not mere statistics or deterministic science. It varies from time to time. So then and there, by assessing the given situation, we would discuss. We are very open, and that could be seen in the fourth review.
On corruption, Minister, I think one and a half years back on the corruption front, they basically asked for a strong anti-corruption law, and there was a anti-corruption law passed, but nothing has happened so far. And there was another act, bill, proceeds of crimes bill was to be taken last parliament, but it was never taken. What's the update on that?
Actually, that is in process, being continuously attended, and the things are drafted. So, we can just
that we need to meet in terms of governance initiatives, improvements of governance in the country. One of them is the setting up strengthening the CBOC process, ensure it is adequately resourced and manned, provide the guidance and resources allocated to that one. So several matters relating to those governance diagnostic report, as I mentioned earlier, is completed to the extent that we have added 4 new items into the next ongoing process. We have proposed those items to be added to the governance diagnostic process, achievement monitoring and achievement process as well. And as you said, yes, some of them is the recovery of these ill-gotten gains and the acts and legislations and rules required to strengthen the existing framework, anti-money laundering, counter-terrorism financing. So even in the budget, we could see some of these items were provided in the annexure to the budget that we are going to do this within this year, and we are serious and we are allocating the adequate resources to ensure this will be implemented as soon as possible, because not because of IMF, it is in the IMF program. As a country, we need to get these things implemented to ensure we create a legal framework that citizens can trust. So our objective is also to get it done as soon as possible.
I think 11 amendments are annexed to the budget, including one that you mentioned.
අපේ විදේශ මාධ්‍යවේදී අමල් ජයසිංහ මහත්මයා සූම් තාක්ෂණය ඔස්සේ ලැබීම අපිට වඩා අවස්ථාවක් දෙනවා. අමල් ජයසිංහ මහත්මයා.
Okay, thank you very much. I need to ask Dr. Jayanto. Now, on the service exports, we are subjecting companies to what you consider a concessionary rate of 15%. But is there a risk of some of these companies shifting to the port city, where you could get a 25-year tax holiday and thereafter I think 50% for the next 15 years? So is there really a risk that you might lose some of these companies shifting elsewhere?
Let me look at it in this angle. So even as of now, there are countries who offer this type of tax holidays. They can shift themselves into a country offering such benefits. Whereas a Sri Lankan entrepreneur, Sri Lankan business going overseas to enjoy such benefits, Port City has given a wonderful opportunity for such businesses who have reached those thresholds in terms of investment level, in terms of number of employees, because these ventures who are to be incorporated, established and registered in the Port City are expected to provide services for foreign clients, generate foreign income, not to compete with the businesses in the mainland, within the Sri Lanka. So therefore we believe it will be a wonderful opportunity to some of those businesses who have scaled themselves up. It may be in the IT sector, as you asked, they are of the view, instead of going into a different country, leaving Sri Lanka for good, it will be a better option for them to consider getting into the Port City, subject to meeting the minimum thresholds and criteria. There are investment criteria, employment criteria, timing criteria in terms of bringing the investments and getting the number of employees on board. So we believe it will be a win-win situation. We need to make sure the regulation is strengthened in a manner that no one will abuse the benefits that are offered to such type of entities. And it is important to remember another additional point on this taxation relating to the digital exports. The amount that you get into your bank accounts, either as freelance operators or as entities, the bank will not deduct. It's not like WHT. The individual is given the opportunity to file the tax return after deducting your expenses. So there's a timing advantage as well on a quarterly basis when you're filing your returns, and once you finalize your annual return at the end of the financial year, that's where the final taxations have to be paid. So there's a timing advantage as well to the taxpayer as an individual and as companies as well, which is an important difference compared to the traditional payee tax. Because when the employment income is given to you, tax is deducted and given to you only the net amount. Whereas the foreign exchange remittances, the foreign exchange earnings from digital exports that you get to the bank account, bank will not deduct anything. That money belongs to you. That's your money. It's when you make the submission of your tax return, you need to identify your amount to be paid as taxes and remit to the government. after deducting your expenses. For example, the cameras you buy, the speakers you buy, mics that you buy, editing softwares that you buy, and various other internet connectivity expenses, perhaps proportionate amount of electricity expenses. All these are allowable expenses to be claimed against your income. So if this regulation applies for the profits that you make, not the proceeds that you get. So there are a lot of provisions and leeway provided to the segment, because we believe this is a trust segment that government needs to support to take it to the next level. Another important aspect relating to this one is the money that we collect as taxes as a government also will be reinvested to develop those industries, to provide essential services in terms of education, in terms of health, public infrastructure, several other investments. So instead of politicians wasting money, every rupee that we collect as taxes, I think citizens can be proud of that they have contributed to the development of the country, because politicians are no longer going to steal. That period is gone. Over to you. Thank you.